see, the Marklin Percy is very similar to the Hornby Percy, as we can see here. This is because Marklin only produced Thomas tank engine models in 2006 as a once-off. Now, if we get Percy going, now this speed is about halfway. It's really not very fast. Not even when you're up to full speed, which we're on now. Percy's really not moving that quickly. So yes, Marklin Percy. And here it looks as if Marklin, you can even tell they must use the same design because there's still that bit of a split seen on here, as shown in the other video, where you can take it off to one of the gears, except I think it may have actually been glued in. I don't really want to try pulling it out because I might break it, but you can still see there's a bit of a divide over there. And because these models are almost exact copies of the Hornby ones, the actual lids to get into actually oiled gears, it's actually quite difficult, and I don't know how to do that, which is a slightly different problem. So you can see at the bottom of the locomotive has typical Marklin number and the slider, as well as track magnets, because pretty small and not particularly strong. Another interesting feature here is the box, which actually looks very similar to the Hornby one, apart from the little Togolino silver here, which is the German equivalent of, the show that whatever channel shows Thomas tank engine, and the fact that the words say Thomas und sein Fighter instead of Thomas and his friends. But apart from that, the packaging is really quite similar to the Hornby one, and of course the number engine and number on the side. And here of course now is Marklin Thomas, which once again looks very, very similar, even down to the face, which for some reason mine is defunct and missing eyebrows, but what are you going to do about that? Still looks right, as you can see here, the back looks exactly the same. Even the piston rods on the sides. And of course, once again, the only thing that's different is the slider system on the bottom with the different couplings. And once again, because this is a bit of a weird design, I have no clue on how to take the cover off. And so now if we take Percy off, see, once again we can see the size difference between the two engines, and even we can often see a size difference between other Marklin engines because Hornby produces in 00, so these engines look far too big, which I'll show in a minute. But here we go, now Thomas is going. Now he's a lot faster than Percy, for whatever reason. And also, Thomas occasionally has problems over the Marklin points too, because of the fact that he's a little bit too big. His wheels are a little bit too big, so they derail sometimes. But here we can see the difference in size between your standard Marklin logo tank engine here. Look at the size of the wheels there. Next to the size of Thomas's wheels. So here we can evidently see it. Marklin must have coordinated something with Hornby, and therefore have made them. You can see the difference in size on the wheels compared to even Percy. Those wheels are about that size, with this engine that size. Alright, well, now you can see both the Marklin Thomas and the Marklin Percy. And then even the rolling stock, like we have Annie and Clara just here, look exactly the same, and once again out of proportion with Thomas, as with the Hornby models. And of course, there's even the troublesome trucks, which we've got one here, which is once again exactly the same except for couplings. But what we have interestingly here is a converted. This is a scruffy top with a Marklin wheelbase, which is another thing that's a bit more interesting. Anyway, so here we go, Marklin Percy.